Welcome to the Re-Entry Archive. Strange objects in bizarre places. A Datura experience report taken from erowid.org. My second time doing this horribly beautiful drug. A night filled with hallucinations so complex and so numerous that it's hard to recount the experience from a sober mindset. I will relay it to you now as best I can. Here is my story. A warm breeze blew through the summer night and softly touched my face. My eyes sparkled with eager excitement. My friend Ron and I stood looking down at the large trumpet flowers, reaching skyward to the starlit sky. We knelt down and carefully clipped off several dark green, soft-skinned leaves, as well as a few of the shiny green/brown seed pods and a sweet-smelling flower. Having collected our loot, we set off on a brisk walk back to my friend's house. Upon arriving, we threw open the back door and proceeded to the kitchen. We got out the cutting board and cut open the seed pod. After removing the shiny outer layer, we both put 40 to 60 seeds on a spoon and ate them. We passed the point of no return. I went into the living room and sat down on the couch, ready to play Vice City and watch Scarface. For an hour or so, I felt normal, although especially into the video game I was playing. After half an hour, I began to feel very drunk, but not really. It was very strange. To me, the first effects of the Datura represent that of ether. My mindset seemed almost sober, although I had very little control of my arms and legs. I confirmed that Ron felt this way also, being that we were sharing our excitement at feeling the first effects of the drug. Then, after 2.5 hours, the visions began. The room began to rhythmically change hue and colour, and the walls began to shudder. Amazed by this sight, I began to talk quickly and excitedly to my friend, only to look over at him after about 5 minutes of talking and realise that he was no longer there. Undisturbed by his absence, I sat back and calmly let the visions spring forth. Sitting there, I began to feel as though I no longer had a body. I felt light and weightless, and not sure if I was sleeping or not. Suddenly many people began to walk into the room. Most were friends and greeted me normally, making it seem as though they were real. I supposed maybe Ron had invited them over. It all seemed very normal. That is, until I realised they were entering the room, through the walls, appearing suddenly in one place, having a brief conversation with me, and then disappearing once more. Abruptly, a warm feeling flooded my body, literally forcing my eyelids shut. The world blurred. Grass blades brushed the side of my face, tickling me into consciousness. Patterns unfolded and twisted through the air around me, as if signals from another dimension. I was surrounded by ghostly figures in white robes. I got to my feet and began to follow my glowing white-robed guides. I was walking slowly along the stone path leading to the back door. As I walked, the grass on the sides of the path began to ripple, looking similar to that of green water. At long last I reached the door and stumbled inside. Total chaos. Food was strewn across the floor. Overturned chairs and broken dishes. Strange objects in bizarre places. The clock read 4:42 a.m. 5 hours since takeoff. I ignored the mess and picked my way to the living room, where I found Ron sniffing the glass at the window. We said a few words to each other. Then he was drowned out by the music that began to pound in my ears. It was a song called Thrasher by Neil Young. It was loud, so I tried to turn it down, only to find that the radio was off. Confused, I began to walk, very slowly, down the hall to my bedroom. Down the windy halls of friendship, to the rose clip by the bullwhip. The motel of lost companions waits with heated pool and bar. The words of the song rung throughout my soul and began to see glowing lights around me. To my amazement, the lights changed form and shape to become people. People I had known who had died. And so it was that I walked and talked with glowing ghosts. I smoked bowls and talked of old times with friends and loved ones I thought had been lost forever. This was truly a life-changing experience. So complex were the hallucinations that I was really able to view for one last time the exact behaviour and personalities of people long dead. Datura, while a potentially dangerous substance, brought me joy in this wondrous experience. I hope to all that try it that they have an experience such as mine and are able, even if only for a brief time, to enter into this mystical world of spirits and ghosts. Whilst I do not condone the use of Datura, it cannot be denied that this was a powerfully spiritual experience. The appearance of dead loved ones and the ability to talk with them offered a theme of reconnection, grief and healing. This may be an attempt by the psyche to reconcile with loss and mortality. The glowing white-robed guides encountered are classic representations of the psychopomp, entities who serve as spiritual guides and lead the soul into the afterlife. These figures appear across mythologies, examples being Hermes and Anubis, and they represent the ability to navigate the liminal space between the living and the dead. This was a direct encounter with the concept of death and a forced acknowledgement of the certainty of one's own death. The shadow is also encountered during this experience. This is most notably seen through the disordered house, the surreal breakdown of time and space, and the unnerving disappearance of Ron. These messy and confusing elements are all suggestive of being representations of the shadow. These things are not evil or malignant per se, but simply unconscious and repressed chaotic material. Datura commonly causes the surfacing of deep shadow content due to its highly toxic, delirium nature.